There's a part in one of your movies where you say to a woman, how you're going to die is going to determine the state of your family when you leave. Not what you will die from, but how you're going to die. Is a pretty powerful moment, and I think she understands what you say at that point. We've been talking a bit about that, but this is what you're trying to say, is that everyone in the family unit and the culture and the community is going to watch how you die and live their life accordingly.
Or refuse to watch and live their life accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But they take cues, because how you die determines the culture, determines our values, determines what we do. And we're doing it the wrong way now, and it's probably getting worse when being the hyperphobic about death.
Yeah. Fair characterization.
You're going to fight death, though, when it comes.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Look, if I can keep my wits about me, no. I can't, you know.
Sounds very similar to a plant medicine ceremony for me.
Does it?
Because
well, maybe it is.
You can go into the ayahuasca ceremony saying, I'm just going to hold tight here and everything's going to be okay. It's not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be a big deal.
Why would you do it?
Yeah. It's supposed to be painful. It's supposed to be scary.
Sure.
It's supposed to be flatten you out.
Yeah.
So yeah, why would you do that? And if you really want to get something out of it, it's to try to be with it and get all these, just be there.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're not going to get anything out of dying.
Yeah,
See?
I guess not.
There's that language again, see?
Yeah.
It's there for me.
Well, there's this, you know.
It's there for me.
But humans
it's my
have been,
servant.
We've been making up illusions about our death since the beginning, right?
I don't know. You know, I'm not persuaded that this is a universal constant, that everybody F's up in the same fashion. I'm just not persuaded about it.
I mean, there's a great book called The Denial of Death, which I've never finished, but
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know all the premises, but part of it is that, you know, we put these statues of war heroes up and celebrate their deaths when in fact we shouldn't, because it's just a symbol that there's something that we can look forward for. I don't know, it just seems like one of the many things that we...
Oh man, those things are just like cruel whisper campaigns, that if they put a statue of you or your name in the public square, you're not really dead.
Right, and your death had a purpose.
I'll tell you what, I'm just going to curl your hair maybe, this story. It goes like this. Virtually every person I work with who is dying came into their dying time with a worst fear vision. And they were very articulate about it if you were to ask them. And in a word, it was writhing in agony at 3 a.m. with no recourse, no doctor to call, and even if there's a prescription, it wasn't really getting it done. In other words, all their worst fears rotated around physical suffering. And the doctors were so skilled where I worked that virtually never happened. I mean, 1 or 2%. Amazing. So then if your worst fear never comes to pass during the course of your death, what does this sound like a recipe for? A prescription for? A guarantee of? Dying well. Because all your worst fears, they never materialize. And they never manifest. How then to explain the extraordinary level of antidepressants and sedation inflicted upon people in the last weeks of their life, if their worst fear never comes to pass? So this is an existential mystery, right? My answer is they were wrong about what they're afraid of. That's the mystery of it. How can you be wrong about your worst fear? Answer is, fear's not knowledge. It's easy to be wrong about it. That you have a worst fear, you're not mistaken there. But what is it? Well, it turns out, almost across the board, the dying people that I knew, their worst fear was disappearing without a trace. Slipping under the waves of time passing. With the people who claimed that they loved them, crafting an ability sooner or later to reassume their normal life, which is a mark of adjustment and psychic sanity among us, to reacquaint yourself with and reacquire your pre-morbid normal life. Let me translate that for you. To be able to live as if the dead person never was, basically. Yeah. And that's what they feared. And they had good reason to fear it. Why? Because it's only towards the end of their life that they sort of copped a vision they were never looking for. Now they're dying, and they're wondering involuntarily what they did when someone close to them prior to this moment was dying. And they realized how easy it was in our way of life to move on. And they did so. And they realized this is a kind of sentence that's awaiting them, that they're dying in a time that is very keen on carrying on, not that keen on living alongside everything that's been. And they're about to join that mystery train heading out of town. And they're about to be in eclipse. And they're scared doesn't begin to describe it. They're cotton-mouthed and rigid in the presence of that. And that's why the sedation, the antidepressants. Because there's no language for it where I worked. And still where I live now, basically there's no language for it. Completely undiagnosed. They call it kind of existential anxiety. Come on, man. It's not strong enough.